Hi, I've been getting a few calls already about bloom this year on fruit trees and on some of our small fruit plants. We've got really erratic bloom. We've got some blooms that are past even at shuck split, and then some that are just now blooming, and some that are still thinking about pushing out into a bloom. And this may have to do with the amount of chilling hours that we received this past winter. And Casey and I talked a little bit about this in a February segment, but just to recap, a chilling hour is the hours that we have between 34 and 45 degrees after the trees become dormant in the fall. And so we count up the number of hours that are in between those critical temperatures, 34 to 45 degrees. And so normally if we look at the average chilling hours for Oklahoma, from down in the southeast part of the state, we may have 800 hours, maybe up to 1,000. And as you go further north, then we go maybe up to 12 or 1,400 hours on average. And so most of the trees that we're going to recommend that you grow are within that chilling hour range. So for a lot of our peaches, they may range anywhere from maybe 700 to 950 or even over 1,000 hours of chilling that is needed. But why do we need chilling hours? That's probably a good question to answer. Chilling is important for, if you think about these fruit buds, they started being initiated back in the fall, but they have to have enough chilling hours before they are differentiated or developed into a fruit bud in the spring. And we need a certain number of chilling to accomplish that. So if we have a lot of chilling, we'll have a lot of fruit buds. And this is also for pecans as well. And so sometimes our lateral shoots need more chilling hours, and so on a high chill year we may have more laterals push because they've had extra chilling. The terminal buds, normally if we have flowers on the end, those will need less chilling and they will push sooner. So we'll have flowering usually at the end before we'll have the lateral buds push. Now if we don't have enough chilling hours, in many states like southern Texas, down in Florida along the coastline, they don't get enough chilling hours to satisfy the needs of things like apples and pears and cherries that need 1,000 or more hours of chilling normally. So they have to look at trees that will bloom and start the growth properly in the spring using less chilling hours. So we have some peaches, if they have like Texas Star or Florida or Gulf in the name of that tree, it's probably considered a low chill variety. So they are going to be best suited for those areas with low chilling. But things that we recommend are going to have those higher chilling requirements, like 800 to 1,000 hours for Oklahoma. Now, if like this season, there are some areas in the southern part of the state that have had less than 300 hours of chilling. And the thing about chilling hours is if we get above 60 degrees, we start losing those accumulated hours. So we can end up with 0 hours if we get too warm in the wintertime. And so this is probably the least amount of chilling hours that I have seen in any season that I've been working with fruit trees. Less than 300 is very, very low. And so on peaches and other stone fruits, they are self-pollinated. So if you end up with blossoms, that you may still have fruit. But if we're looking at things like apples and pears, we may miss our pollination window if we don't have enough chilling hours for some of the trees. We've got this apple that is starting to bloom. You've got some flowers right here. And then this one on this side is supposed to be the pollinator. And it's just now starting to push out a few buds right now. So it's behind quite a bit. So if we need pollen from this tree for the bees to move to this tree, we're going to miss that window of opportunity to provide the pollen source for this tree. And likewise, when this tree starts to bloom, this tree will probably be finished and we won't have a pollen source for this tree. So we may end up with lots of pretty flowers, but no fruit, just due to the window of opportunity of that pollination not happening because our flowering is off this year due to the low chilling hours. Now in Stillwater, we've got about the first part of March, when we think of our chilling hours for like apricots and those early blooming trees like apricots and plums and almonds, maybe peaches, we were about 500 chilling hours for the central part of the state. And since then we've accumulated a little more. But a lot of my early blooming trees like apricots and almonds, they're just now blooming, which is very, very late. And so they require less chilling most of the time, but they just haven't bloomed like they normally would. And most of the time our peach trees, they're gonna be blooming in the central part of the state about March 15th to the 20th. And so this year, it's been very late. So we'll see how it goes, but for right now, that may be one reason that we have less fruit production this season.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.